Welcome to Blood Moon Oracle. This channel is a sacred cache of wisdom created to help direct the deepest parts of your being towards healing, growth, and alignment with your highest self. If you have stopped by and you're watching, you have given me consent, you've given me the ability to connect with your energy. So thank you. Enjoy. Hello, welcome to Friday the 13th. Yes, I used to think that today was like a day of bad luck, that programming. But I do feel like this might be a day of a special, something to take note of and see what Spirit is saying. There's definitely something interesting about Friday the 13th. The energies feel very different. And so today I feel like I've been called to my portal step. We're going to see what portal is opening up for us today. Um, Let's take a look. I hope you guys are well. Welcome to Blood Moon Oracle. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you feel led. And if you do subscribe, please consider hitting the bell so you'll be notified in case I go live or post new content in the future. So let's take a look, Spirit. What is the portal that's opening up for us today, Friday the 13th? And let me just reiterate, it's not a bad luck day. 13 is actually a pretty interesting number. When we look at it from a point of numerology, it does become a number four. And so fours are all about stability, groundedness, firm foundations, solidity, right? There's a lot of good things about that number. And so this might be bringing in that energy today. But let's take a look and see what is the portal opening for us today. Beyond fear. I like this. Beyond fear. Okay. And in this picture, we have a man that's skydiving. He's skydiving and kind of like free falling. And I almost get the energy of stepping into today is a day where there's a portal. We do see the portal here, where there's an opportunity to step into a place or step through this opportunity where you have an opportunity, possibly even to grow by facing your fear. And whatever this is, I do feel like it's going to be something that causes you to release control, right? When you skydive, there is no control there. There's no sense of having this sure safety net. It's almost just like the energy of free falling. Though you do have, your parachute, you have your tools, but the energy of being in the air, mid-air, there's something about that where there is not a lot of control, right? And there's a need to release control, right? More than anything. And part of that is the energy of facing your fear. So there could be something right now as we're stepping through this portal on today, Friday the 13th, that we have an opportunity to step through and kind of let go of things that may not allow us to face this fear. And that may be something different for each of us. But whatever it is, portal on today, there's whatever's happening today is an opportunity to release it and to step into this energy that's going to cause us to grow. And that growth happens when we decide to face this fear. Whatever limits, whatever challenges that we're facing right now, we may be being challenged to step up to the plate, right? Beyond fear. And it says heroism doesn't erase or negate fear. Just because you decide to step up to it doesn't mean that you won't be afraid or you won't be fearful, but it transcends fear, right? And for someone, that loves to sing, I love to sing. And I've had many opportunities to be on stage and sing. I tell you, every time that I get up on stage, I have the opportunity to face my fear because I'm not really a person, I'm not really outroverted. I'm an introvert. And so there's a lot about me that's very drawback, that says, background, just leave me in the background, I'll be good. But there's a lot of things about what I've been given that I feel like causes me to challenge myself to step out into the forefront, even though it's not really in my makeup. And so every time I do it, I do it afraid. My knees are knocking. But there's something about being able to step forward into that fear that's empowering. And one of the things that I've learned how to do every time I go out to perform, I bring a host of people with me, right? And so Spirit may be encouraging you today that you are not alone as you face this fear. You have a host of people. That could be ancestors, that could be your spirit team, that could be your archangels, but there's a host of people that get to show up with you and celebrate you as you step forward into the forefront and challenge yourself in this way. So just because you step out to do it doesn't necessarily mean that the fear will be erased. No, it allows you to transcend the fear. The fear is still there, but the action kind of overrides the fear, right? And Spirit may be saying that right now. It's time to take action. It's not about getting a rush, like an adrenaline rush, or the rush that we get from taking a risk. It's not about that, but it's more about being brave to do that thing. Um, Maybe you're being called to step up to defend someone that's going to place you in, you know, the fire, in the aim of fire. Maybe you're being called to step out and go do something, that's going to put you at risk in some type of way. Or maybe to go after something that's precious, right? But there's a risk involved here. Even when we talk about creating, when we're creating art, we're taking a risk by putting ourselves out there. Every time we decide to share what it is that we've created, we take a risk in doing that. And it means we're allowing ourselves to step into the forefront, to be unique, to be vulnerable in a way that really does, it feels intimidating and scary. But through that, there's something very beautiful that's happening. We're able to actually communicate with others. Otherwise, it would not be possible, right? Um, and so, whatever that thing is that you're being advised to, whatever that action is you're being advised to take, maybe something a little similar to what I'm talking about, it may be something different, or this could be a confirmation that there's a courageous choice that you've already considered, and it would be a wise one to make. If you're unsure, this beyond fear could be urging you to kind of do a little self exploration and ask yourself the questions. One would be, what would I do have if I had no fear? If I had no fear at all, what would I do? Whatever that situation is that's precious to you, you know, um, maybe asking yourself, how can I protect that? Yeah. What would your ideal outcome be? And what challenges are needing to be faced or surmounted to experience that? Is there something that, I've been shying away from to avoid attention or exposure or loss or emotional pain? Is there something, that I wish I could do that I've been telling myself I can't? Right. So this card comes because there's something important to you. Today is an opportunity to step into that portal, right? This could be like a career decision, some type of opportunity, and it involves fear in some type of way. The fact that you care about it, right, means that it's important. Otherwise, you wouldn't feel like you have anything to lose and you wouldn't be afraid. And so, but you do care about it. And it is bringing up these feelings of challenge to you. And so, what is it that needs to be done to step beyond that feeling of fear and to take action? This is what this portal is opening up today, to step into this place beyond fear. Again, for performers, like if we waited until the jitters and the butterflies went away, like before we would do what we need to do, we would never do it. That's just facts. We would never do it. If heroes waited until they had no fear before taking the necessary action, right, no one would ever be saved. And so this portal is all about taking action despite of the fear that's being felt. There's a couple of very wise sayings. One was from Nelson Mandela, who said, I learned courage. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. And then Anais Nin, I'm not sure who that is, she said, Life shrinks or expands in proportion to our courage, to one's courage. And then the last one from Eleanor Roosevelt, you must do the thing that you think you cannot do. And before you do it, just remember to ask for help, for support, ask for guidance, because remember, you're not alone. It may be a moment to go within, to take a deep breath, to relax as best as you can, and just allow yourself to receive the support that's coming in, that you're feeling as you take that leap, okay? So today is all about stepping beyond fear. We're also going to get a abundance card as well for Friday the 13th. If I remember, I'm going to put these cards up. All right. You know, this card has been coming out quite a bit. Inner child. I think we've been really working a lot on our inner child lately. I know I have. Maybe you share in that sentiment as well. This says, allow me to give compassion and love to that little one inside. Let me attend to its deepest needs and feelings. And so today is also a day to step into this place where we nurture. I feel like Spirit is wanting us to nurture the inner child. This is an opportunity to tap in to your inner child and find out what is needed right now. What is your inner child asking of you right now? For someone, this feels like a moment of maybe tapping in that way and asking that question. If I could speak to my inner child, what would it request of me right now? Is it attention? Is it affection, nurturing? Do I need to be compassionate with my inner child? Maybe the inner child is expressing right now in a way that needs compassion from you. And so this is coming out as well on today. Something around the inner child is coming forward that needs to be noticed or expressed. Um, Maybe there's some communication that needs to happen with our inner child. And so that's also coming out here. I'm also going to pull a card from my Crow Oracle deck as well. Friday the 13th, Spirit, the energy coming out. Okay. We have warning coming out. Warning. Interesting. And this is a crow, okay, that's sitting on top of like a lamppost watching. And so I almost get the feel like there's, and then underneath on the bottom, there's like this fog. So there's a sense of being able to see from a position that's above the fogginess and the smoke, right? But there is smoke, and I think this is smoke instead of fog. I said fog, but more like smoke, right? And I feel like there's the feeling of where there is smoke, there's actually fire, right? And so there may be something coming up today that is calling for attention, right? It's calling to be paid attention to. I'm getting that saying where there's smoke, there's fire. Yeah, it's almost talking about being able to see from a higher position and looking down and seeing like smoke all around. The smoke is so thick, you can't really see what's underneath it. But the fact that there is smoke means there's some form, there's something causing the smoke underneath. Even though you can't see it, there is something down there that's causing this thick layer of smoke, right? And so there's something about paying attention and spotting signs and warnings of danger. These signs are all around, possibly. And there's something that you may need to give attention to today so that you give yourself enough time to react to it, to avoid the danger of it. The warnings bring us into the awareness of, things that need our attention, things, and I'm hearing sirens, right? When we are driving, the sound of sirens means there's an emergency. There's something that needs our attention. We need to pull over. We need to give way to this, whatever this is, right? And so there's some awareness to what's happening possibly around you in some type of way that may be being missed or denied, may even be causing, a less desirable situation. Yeah. And so sometimes I do feel like sometimes we can be in blind spots as well. And so it's good to have people around us. It's said that it's good to be in the council of many wise people, right? It's good to have many wise counselors because we're not always able to see, depending on where we are and whether or not we have acclimated to that environment. Sometimes it's good to have a multitude of counselors around you to help you see things and to point out things that we may not understand or actually be able to acknowledge. So there's something about considering the signs that you've received already. This is shedding light on the situation that may have been avoided. I feel like there's something being reiterated here that may not have come across completely the first time. And this is almost like, yeah, this is the light being turned on so that it is clarified once and for all. Okay. And so let's take a look and see what is coming out for Friday the 13th. I'm going to go ahead and pull some tarot. If you're enjoying this message, if you would be so kind to take a moment to like, share, comment. If you are passing by, this is your first time, subscribe. If you feel led to do so, hit the bell so you'll be notified in case we go live in the future, okay? All right, Spirit. Let's see what we have here. Asking for as much information as possible, drawing from the highest intentions for our highest good. Okay, so we have the Ace of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands, and then the Nine of Swords. And the Nine of Swords comes out in reverse, in reverse. And so when we look at the Ace of Pentacles, we're looking at, there was something here about an opportunity that was presented or revealed in the past, though. This is a past energy, and I'm looking at the crow sitting on the pinnacle, and it's almost like the clouds or the smoke, right? The smoke is being removed so that things can be seen clearly. I feel like this could have something to do with these warnings that have come forward. Today, I feel like on Friday the 13th, there's a lot that's being cleared and being revealed and being exposed, right? There's a lot coming through here because the crow landing on this large pinnacle, it was once concealed by these clouds or this smoke. But now, because it's moving away, it's providing a clear view, not only of what was hidden, it could be things that may not necessarily work for our good with these warnings, but it was also things being revealed when it comes to opportunities. The Ace of Pentacles is almost like maybe something being clouded or covered that didn't allow us to see the real opportunities that were present for us. But now that the cloud is dissipating, now the smoke is leaving, now it's available, right? It's come into clear view. And so in the past, there was something that may have been hiding the true opportunity. Maybe this is resonating for you. Maybe there were some blocks that you weren't able to see at one point in time. Something that was being offered that was being blocked in some type of way. And it could have something to do with material wealth or spiritual knowledge that was available to you. And so the Ace of Pentacles, there was a time of clarity that came to the forefront and gave the ability to actually bring this into your reality, your ability to manifest this. And so I do feel like this is past energy. That may need to be considered, maybe going back to remember what that was. What was a clear point of revelation that you had in the past that pointed to some of the things that you felt like you were called to, right? This may be an opportunity to go back and remember what that was for some of us. And I am just going to clarify this as well. What is the Ace of Pentacles in the past for my viewers? We have the Four of Cups and the Queen of Cups. Yeah, it almost feels like this is something that may not have had anything to do with anyone else. This is something specifically for you, something that would be beneficial for you with the Queen of Cups and the Four of Cups. It feels very personal, very individual to you, something that would allow you to build on yourself, to build yourself up, to build something for yourself, something very stable, secure, very balanced, and something that would be very emotionally fulfilling as well. Some opportunity around you being able to express and build yourself up, right? That's what it feels like in the past for me. Now, the Four of Cups also kind of gives me the feel like you may not have seen this. Spirit may have been offering this to you all along. Depending on where you were spiritually or mentally, you may not have seen it clearly. You may have bypassed it or rejected with the Four of Wands. Nevertheless, it was, something that was offered to you. Now, we go to the Nine of Wands, which is in the present. I do feel like there's something that's being wrapped up here. Nines always talk about coming to an end, like wrapping up the last little bits of something. There's something very strenuous, it feels like, that you're working on right now. You're giving a lot of effort and energy into it, and you're kind of like at this final task of almost completing something. There's this struggle of completing something. This could be you needing to move forward in some type of way and having the struggle of doing that, or is having some type of tug of war, I'm feeling like. Now, the Nine of Wands also offers encouragement just to keep going, keep moving forward, keep doing what you have been called to do, or what you feel like you've been called to do. And it's okay to stop and take a moment to really bask in, what it is that you've accomplished this far, or where you've brought yourself at this point. I feel like someone is like at the precipice of a completion. And it's okay to stop even at that moment and just kind of encourage yourself, celebrate yourself, because this is what may be needed at this point, just to remember, that this is worth it. It's going to be worth it when it's all said and done. This is maybe needed to give yourself that little bit of motivation to continue. I do feel like Spirit is encouraging you, like you are close. Don't stop. Don't give up. And it gets darkest at midnight, right? But it's also understanding that the sun is going to rise very soon. So get ready. And I feel like you're someone who's put a lot of hard work into this. And you may be in a difficult time right now, but Spirit is encouraging you not to give over to pessimism. Replace the negative feelings or thoughts of resentment with an open mind and visualize what it's going to feel like when you have made it to the finish line here. Let's see what this is. What is it that my viewer is working on right now? This feels like a really heavy test. I have the Devil that comes out, which talks about, dealing with self, a lot of aspects of ourselves, overcoming, our own temptations and struggles. And let me see what else comes out here. What is the Nine of Wands? Yeah, moving past this energy. So there's something in this moment that could be challenging self-growth, you know. There's something in this moment that could be challenging us to expand our soul, right? The Devil gives me that energy of soul constriction because of, this worldly desire instead of spiritual desire. And the Knight of Swords is really becoming clear, getting clarity, getting strategy over how to overcome, right? And it's through overcoming these personal trials and tests that we become clear on how to move forward, I feel like. So whatever this is, it could be for some, it could be like dealing with certain, you know, struggles of releasing things. For some, it could be feeling like you have to be in control of a situation. For some, it could be um, dealing with aspects of the ego or the aspects of ourselves, how we're perceiving ourselves. But it's a struggle, whatever it is. I feel like it's an internal struggle that we're dealing with that's going to actually lead us to our victory. So whatever is happening right now, I feel like Spirit is saying you're right where you need to be, and you're doing the work that you need to be doing. It feels like very deep spiritual inner work that's happening. And it could be very shadowy work as well. Nevertheless, Spirit is saying that you are doing the work and not to stop, not to stop. You've come so far. You've come so far. Don't stop now. Keep going. Okay. And I have two nines here, the Nine of Wands and the Nine of Swords. So 9-9 could be very significant for someone. The Nine of Swords did come in reverse. So nines, when we talk about the Nine of Swords, it's usually all about worry, maybe even sleepless nights, having some type of concern, being trapped, or feeling like being afraid of being trapped, right? Beyond fear was the portal that we're entering into. Now, the beautiful thing is that it came in reverse. So it's not actually those energies of feeling trapped or being afraid or being fearful. This energy we're talking about brings a message that you're getting worked up, maybe about nothing. Maybe you're getting all worked up about nothing. And because you may allow yourself to get worked up about nothing, it may cause you to lose focus and to lose sight of what's most important right now. Spirit wants you to focus your energy more on what's happening right in the here and now and not what may or may not occur in the future. It's all about staying focused here and not allowing um, yourself to get distracted in this moment for whoever that is for. Okay. Why is the Nine of Swords coming in reverse for my viewer? Okay, we have the Temperance, the Eight of Wands, the Magician, and the Ace of Wands. So there's something here about working, moving forward, manifesting, new beginnings. Someone may be a little bit concerned about what the future holds, whether or not you'll end up where you've desired to be. Nevertheless, Spirit is saying, don't worry about it. Whatever it looks like right now, now's the time to keep focused, right? Don't allow the energy of fear to slip in and steal the vision. I feel like it's what Spirit is saying. There's something that we may be getting a little bit too worked up about right now in this moment when it's Spirit is saying it's not really that serious, right? Don't allow yourself to lose sight of this moment or in this moment. There's something that the swords are all about mental energy too, right? And so there may be something that we may not be seeing clearly as we could, right? Or maybe we're just getting worked up when things are actually happening the way they're supposed to. And we're getting worked up and worried about it when we just really need to trust what we're seeing, what we're feeling, follow the leading. If we're getting warning signs, maybe it is leading us in another direction. That too is right. So, whatever it is that we're feeling in this moment, Spirit is saying, follow it, don't fight it, and trust that it is for you. Okay. Lastly, I'm going to go ahead and get a animal spirit oracle for my viewer. An animal spirit oracle for the viewer. An animal spirit oracle for the viewer. The cow spirit. Okay. That says the miracles are endless. I love that. All the flowers, especially the ones along here, those are my favorite kinds of flowers. The miracles are endless. I love that. And it's a 15, so 15 could be significant for you. And the message is that you are at a beautiful point in your life today. Your needs are being met effortlessly in so many ways. And to fully embrace this truth by focusing on all that you have right now, including the positive relationships and things like that that sustain you. Also, the work you are proud to do that contributes to the world and the activities you inspire that nourish your soul. The cow spirit nudges you to pay attention because this is a perfect time to focus on the choices, on the actions, and the behaviors that you know fill your soul and bring your heart contentment. It's also a time when you'll see many of your projects and commitments that were set in motion in the past begin to yield valuable gifts that will bring you joy and love and sustain you for a long time to come. And so, Spirit is saying, stay positive and share your well being with others. The more that you share, the more you will manifest to be generous. Okay. The cow spirit also promises you will never run out of miracles. The beautiful thing about this, it's like a double blessing. It's a compounded blessing, exponential blessing. Because the fact that we're even talking about miracles, it's one thing to say you'll never run out of money, or you'll never run out of love, or you'll never run out of resources, or you'll never run out of energy. But to say you'll never run out of miracles, because first of all, a miracle is something that defies reality. It's something that defies the rules as we know it. It's something that can happen at any time, at any moment, through anyone, anywhere, for any reason. There are no limits on miracles. And the fact that Spirit just said that you will never run out of them, right? That's just amazing when you think of that. That means for you, at any moment, at any time, anything can happen. Okay, that's the power that Spirit is promising you. This energy, the cow spirit, also asks you to pay attention to how you nourish your mind, how you nourish your body, how you nourish your spirit, because right now it feels like there could be a little bit of dissonance, a little bit of instability. Um, and it's almost like, you know, how you have a newborn that's just now starting to walk and they're like, they stand for the first time and they take their first step and they're like, I got this, but then at the next minute they're like, okay, maybe I don't. Oh, no, I got it. Oh, maybe I don't. And you're like, you're there, you don't catch them, you're just like just there waiting just in case, you know, and they're just kind of like wobbly because they haven't really learned to control their legs. Someone may be experiencing something like that right now. This could be a point where maybe you are spending too much time distracting yourself on something specific, maybe, or maybe even pouring too much energy into something. Maybe what we're digesting is not as healthy as it could be. But whatever it is, this energy, the cow spirit, you're being nudged to assess how we are fulfilling ourselves, how we're meeting our needs, and if it is in fact healthy. Because remember that the universe reflects back to us through events, through conditions that match how we are treating ourselves. And so it's just a reminder with cow spirit that the universe wants to give you the very best. But you are the one that tells the universe what to give you, right? You need to do your part to participate and nourish that as well, because the universe is going to reflect back to you what you are. Okay. And if you heed the message, everything will shift right now. Okay. So that's the message today. Thank you so much for stopping by. It's always fun to read for you all. I did feel especially called today to come and do a special message for Friday, the 13th. I hope this message spoke to you, and I hope you got something to carry you through this day into the next part of your life, right? We are stepping through this portal today. It's all about stepping beyond the fear that may show up different for each of us today. But whatever that is, the portal is open for us to make a move today. Okay. All right. Till next time, I hope you guys are well, and I hope you get a good start off to your weekend. Thank you for stopping by Blood Moon Oracle. Till next time, take care of yourselves. Okay. Bye. And the last words I would say: like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell if you find yourself subscribing. And the message today: do it afraid. Okay. All right. Bye.